Over spring break a few weeks ago, I went back home and I took a walk to try to wrestle with why in the world I jumped into this. And I began to think, I went behind my parents' house is a one-room schoolhouse that my grandfather attended and my dad lived in when he was a boy. My grandfather dropped out of school in the sixth grade. He was the 19th child. He busted sod and stitched shoes almost every day of his life to make ends meet, but his vision was not dictated by his humble roots in a one-room schoolhouse. His vision was significantly grander. I'm running because I'm tired of every time we talk about how outstanding and how excellent Sumner County can be, all we get are about 10,000 excuses about why that can't be, why we can't be like Williamson County, why we can't do that. You know, I'm a trained theologian, a senior pastor, and when I read the Apostle Paul, it tells me that God can do exceedingly more than we can even imagine. And I'm running because I believe that we can do exceedingly more in Sumner County. I believe it's time for excellence. I believe it's time for new faces. And I would appreciate your support in the 11th District. Thank you.
Okay. For District 11, your question order will be Mr. Langford first, followed by Mr. Taylor. Question 1. During your campaign, you have met many people. What are the issues that are unique to your constituency or to your district? During your campaign, you've met many people. What are the issues that are unique to your constituency or to your district?
Our district is one of the large, it seems like it spans a large cross-section of the county. We have Millersville, we have Goodlettsville, we have Shackle Island. We go up a little bit almost to Cottontown. It's a mix of suburban and rural. There are a whole bunch of different issues on the campaign trail. Honestly, I can say that most of the questions you get have absolutely nothing to do with what you do as a commissioner, if we're honest. They're very heartfelt questions. They're very meaningful questions. But the overarching sense of what I get from people is that, and it's already been expressed multiple times tonight, is people are tired of all the stuff that's gone on in the past. At some point, we have to put aside all the battles of the past 30 or 40 years, and we have to join hands, we have to sit at a table, we have to break bread, and we have to make decisions that benefit our kids, that benefit our communities, and help us to move forward towards a brighter future.
Okay. District 11. The order for your question is first Dr. Taylor, followed by Mr. Langford. Your question is, jobs are on everyone's agenda. What is the county's role in economic development? Jobs are on everyone's agenda. What is the county's role in economic development?
We can't be the wallflower. We got to be the good-looking girl at the dance.
Hey, I like that one, Scott.
Well, I'm certainly not the good-looking girl at the dance, but let me see what I can do, Dr. Taylor. The biggest thing that the county does is create a climate that's conducive to growth. And the biggest part of that starts with leadership. When businesses are looking to relocate or open here, they're looking for stability in leadership. And they're looking for a stability in leadership that is committed to collaborate with each other, to work together, to move forward for the common good. And then I think they're going to look, once they get beyond that, they're going to look and say, what kind of schools are there? What kind of services are there? What's the tax rate? And I think that as county commissioners, the biggest thing that we can do is work together to create that climate that is conducive for those businesses to relocate. And it's hard in 30 seconds to get down to the specifics of that. But the biggest thing I would say is stability and the desire to work together. And I'm not just talking commissioners there. I'm talking school board members, city leaders, business leaders, chambers of commerce. Everybody that has a stake in our economic system in Sumner County needs to come together and develop a 25, 30, 50-year plan.
Okay. District 11, your third question. Mr. Langford's first, followed by Dr. Taylor. How would you improve the relationships between the county commission and the cities in the county? How would you improve the relationships between the county commission and the cities in the county?
I'm afraid, as I think Mr. Becker expressed earlier, I'm afraid that it's going to require change at the commission level for that to happen. It may require change at the city level. I think there's so much water under the bridge and there's so much baggage. Probably requires new faces, but also I've had the opportunity to be the senior pastor of 3 churches, and if you've ever had to deal with conflict, go into struggling churches. Even though people sit next to each other on pews, there are deep-seated animosities sometimes that stretch back 70 years. And I have found that the best way to deal with it is to sit at the table, to be honest, and to let there be time to talk about all the things that have happened, but then have a wrap-up and say, all right, now, we're going to move forward. We're going to be the adults in the room. We're going to put this beside. And in order to do that, to go back to my last answer, you have to have vision. If you have a common vision that's been worked on by all the stakeholders involved, where they can see where we're moving, it's much easier to give up your old animosities and baggage than it is if you feel like every time there's a civic meeting that it's the ongoing repetition of all those old habits and fights.
Okay, our next question for District 11, and it's your final question as well. The order is Dr. Taylor first, followed by Mr. Langford. Is there a service in the county that is not currently offered that you would like to see? If not, is there one you would like to see expanded? Is there a service in the county that is not currently offered that you would like to see? If not, is there one you would like to see expanded?
I think Mr. Taylor in the last, with the 9th District mentioned it, Mr. Wheeler mentioned it a little while ago. Mr. Taylor said earlier that when you've been living in survival mode for so long, it's hard to look forward, and we've got some problems that have been put on the back burner for a long time. They're going to have to be addressed first. Insurance is going to be huge because the classified employees after this year in the school system are moving on to the same insurance plan as the teachers. That's going to create a huge issue that the county commission is going to have to address. The insurance trust is for the classified employees in the county now is burning through money like there's no tomorrow, and the hospital fund is going to run out at some point. We have to come up with something where we take care of our police officers, our public servants, those classified employees that work so hard for almost nothing already, to give them affordable insurance that meets their needs. The other thing that I would say in terms of expanded services is last week I was part of a candidate forum at the Hendersonville Library, and before the debate was over, or the discussion was over, they were dinging the bell for everyone to get out. And there may be places where you can break the rules about when it's time to stop, but a public library is not one. When it says lights go out, and everybody goes home. Thank you.
All right.
I first want to take a moment to thank the League of Women Voters. I believe that before we can talk about collaboration, we have to talk about civility. I went to my mailbox the other day, got a piece of mail, looked at it. It said some really bad things about a guy. I thought, boy, he must be terrible. I looked at the bottom, had a picture of me, my wife, and my kids. And I thought, I don't know if I'd vote for him if that's true. But we have to sit down and talk. We have to be civil to one another. We have to be respectful to the office and do things that give benefit and glory to our county and to the position we hold. And then we have to start asking the tough questions. I took a class one time. We talked about how your beliefs have to guide your budgeting principles, or else you end up in an endless circle of just keeping the lights on. We have to identify what our core beliefs and values are and then budget accordingly. And I'll close with this. We need to work hard, we need to work smart, and we need to work together. I'm Scott Langford, and I would appreciate your vote on May 6th in the Republican primary in District 11.
Thank you.